Looks
It
like
says
up.
we're live, Michael. I don't know
I
whether
know.
to believe him or not.
Yeah, might as well believe it.
I'm getting to the point where I don't believe much of anything these days, but
Well, I have something for you to believe in. It's a continuation of our show from Monday when we talked about baseball for the whole show. And
yes, we did
this,
do that, didn't we?
this has to do with the baseball gods we referred to. People refer to the baseball gods all the time because they are the ones that are involved with getting, if you're a substitute right fielder in the fifth inning and you haven't caught a ball in 2 weeks, you can be guaranteed that the ball's going to find you in right field. It's coming to you, probably on a weird
Yeah,
angle, probably on a hot bounce, probably on a difficult to deal with trajectory. That's what the baseball gods do. They say, there's a guy out there in right field, hasn't caught a ball in 2 weeks. We're going to send one to him and see how he reacts, see how he handles the situation.
yeah.
Now, the baseball
It's
gods were at work on my case last weekend when I did the PA announcement for the championship game of these 6 and under kids. And what did the baseball gods have to offer me for just sitting in the stands and saying now batting number 9 Bo Musha and other names? What the baseball gods concocted for me, Vinny, was these guys batting 5 through 10 in the batting order: Johnny Sternfeld, Enzo Rossi, Logan Weinstein, Asher Benstock, and Roger Muto. These are the 6-year-old kids playing in the outfield for the Brewers. And I just thought, if you thought announcing in the stands was going to be easy and nothing to it, easy peasy, can of corn, piece of cake, well, those are the names they throw at you. And these are kids that are all knee high to a grasshopper, but they have men's names: Logan
yes,
Weinstein, Asher Benstock, Roger Muto. Yeah. So you
couple
can
of
trip.
Luftwaffe names in there. It sounds like.
Yeah. So that's just an extension of what the baseball gods have planned for you. Another
Now,
example from real life that's more to the National League that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Giants are playing their hated rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I
And
saw that.
depending on how the baseball gods are feeling, that can be a daunting experience for the team that loses. It's no fun to lose to the Dodgers if you're a Giant, no fun to lose to the Giants if you're a Dodger. Giants have won the last 2 games, and the baseball gods decided that they were going to deal with this by, first of all, trading the Giants' two-year Golden Glove catcher to Cleveland. And the Giants have to call up another catcher from the minors, but he's hurt, so they have to call up a third catcher from the minors. His name is Eric Haas. And Eric Haas last night hit 2 home runs against the Dodgers and put the Giants in the win column again. So I plead to the innocent people out there, do not lay in front of the baseball gods unless you mean business, unless you can handle the situation, because it's coming to you and it's going to be eventful. Baseball gods are not there to do nothing like some third base coaches that we all know. They're there to challenge you and to give you reason to be alive and to offer you an opportunity to change your direction, to change people's opinion of you, to change your opinion of yourself, to change the outcome of the game. The baseball gods are willing to do this for you, but you have to accept the challenge and be equal to it. So a guy that nobody knows named Eric Haas with 2 A's gets called from AAA Sacramento to fill in because the Giants have traded their number 1 catcher. And he answers the call with 2 dingers and a chance to put the Giants in the win column over their hated rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And so if you don't believe in the baseball gods, that's your opinion. That's your prerogative. But here is proof in my own life and in the life of the National League But the baseball gods are alive and well, equal to the challenge, and they're persnickety. They want to see you succeed, but they'll put you in a place where you can fail. So look out.
Well,
Look out, I'm telling you. The baseball gods are alive and well.
refresh my memory, but you did say that he was called up from Sacramento. But
Right.
that would mean he was called up from the athletics organization, would it not?
Well, they don't use the word Sacramento describing where the A's play. They just say athletics. We're playing Cleveland. We're playing New York, and we're playing Oakland.
Playing somebody.
Playing somebody. But when you play Oakland, you don't play Oakland. You just play the Athletics. Oakland's not a part of it anymore, and neither is the word Sacramento. They don't even they may even say West Sacramento. It's very weird. It's like they want you to know that they're not playing in Oakland anymore. They're not yet in Las Vegas, but they're not really proud of the fact that they're playing in Sacramento either.
They're kind of here, they're kind of there, they're kind of a little bit everywhere.
I don't know where West Sacramento is. I guess it must be west
Well,
of
it's probably
downtown.
the west. It's now I tend to think that West Sacramento is, as you're heading into town, on the west side of the town. I mean, I remember that at one time I used to visit West Sacramento on a
On a whim.
fairly consistent basis. And I remember it to be a tough neighborhood, home of the Sacramento chapter of the Hells Angels.
Oh, really? Okay.
And many people who were in any other neighborhood would be undesirable, would be West Sacramento kind of had that tough kind of, you don't want to go to this neighborhood unless you're picking something up that you shouldn't be picking up.
Picking up a little something?
A little something.
Well, I'm not aware. My knowledge of Sacramento should be more focused than it is. So I didn't know that about West Sacramento. That's news to me. And I wonder, when you mention the Hells Angels, what is available in the modern world for a Hells Angel? What do they spend their time doing besides riding their choppers?
Charitable events.
They're working for the good of the community.
Yeah. I know that they, or at least I know that as of a couple of years ago, they still had their place on East 3rd Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue. That they had. They owned that building there for many, many, many years. They owned it in the 60s. And had it many, many, many years.
So they took their uncle's advice and got into real estate.
They got into real estate, and from what I understand, did well.
No doubt.
You know, kind of hard to argue with their reasoning or their logic. So I don't know about. I know that in West Sacramento, they were in a kind of warehousey kind of not a rundown district. I always hate to say rundown, but certainly a district where you wouldn't want to leave your car alone for too long.
Is there anybody there that you could pay to watch it?
Well, see, here was the thing, though. If I remember it right, and again, this was a long time ago. This was the 80s. And if your car was parked within a certain radius of this building or this group of buildings, the people in the neighborhood usually were smart enough not to go near those cars because you didn't want to meet the people that you were going to meet who were going to come out and come looking for those cars or what was stolen out of those cars.
You didn't want a controversy with the registered owner.
You just didn't want to meet those people. You'd rather just say, you know what? I'll go steal something.
Vinnie has strayed from the microphone and the camera here. There
Yes.
it is.
I'll go steal something from somewhere else.
Yeah. I'll take my smart ideas elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't need the aggravation or the pain or the sorrow or the possible beating that I'm going to catch if one of these people were to see me in that car. As my uncle used to say, his Uncle Mush used to say, as a matter of fact, I don't need that action.
And that is actually the result of experience mixed with the adventurous nature of Uncle Mush.
Yeah, probably having caught a few beatings in his life himself.
And he doesn't need that action anymore.
And I don't need that action. And
spoken like a man who has had that action in the past.
Yeah, Uncle Mush, if nothing else, was a man who just didn't want to get involved in that kind of action. He was, smart enough to know that there are certain people in the world that you just don't go near. You stay away from them.
There's a question that's asked in the streets of New York. The phraseology doesn't always make sense to people on the West Coast, but if someone asks you if you know from something, you know from this situation? Do you know from this neighborhood? Yeah, I know from it. I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to get beat up.
And that's how this is spoken amongst the men of the neighborhood who have acquired knowledge the hard way or however it's acquired. It's memorable. You file it away.
Well, I'm sorry, Michael. I had to eat something. I took some medicine before the show.
You got to take a
little something in my stomach.
A little something.
It won't look good. There were certain blocks, certain neighborhoods that you would know that you don't mess with people that are on that block.
You skip that block.
Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. 3rd Street between 1st and the Bowery were neighborhoods or blocks or buildings or places that you didn't want to get involved with those people because there was
they would be there if you got on that block. They would be there.
Well, and if they thought you did something, there was never let's ask him and see what he's got to say about it.
No.
They'd just come over to you and beat the shit out of you and ask questions later.
We're not taking questions today.
Yeah, their system of justice was just much different than the normal system of justice that we've become used to in the United States, where you get arrested, you go to, the cops take you, they book you, they read you some rights, they tell you this, they tell you that. No, this was much more. Well, I thought I saw you walking in that neighborhood at 2:00 this morning, so we're going to throw you a beating so you don't do it again.
As a precaution.
We're not saying you did it, but you won't do it again.
This is a situation that I learned when I first moved to Manhattan. I was living with friends on West 70th Street. To get to the subway at West 72nd, and Broadway. You could walk several ways to get there, but I was advised that these blocks, and this is the west side of New York, which is now fashionable and safe compared to these days, back in 1969, I think it was. From getting West 70th to West 72nd Street for the subway, there was a couple blocks that you were to avoid, and always did. I didn't have to tell me twice.
Well, they were just of a mind of that. We don't want trouble in this neighborhood, and the way that we accomplish that is just make the overriding threat of anything happening so great that you'll go down the block, cross the street, go to the other side.
Yeah, and you're fine. That's the smart man's. It's the smart man's route.
Street, yeah. Or 75th. Walk around the Central Park West or something, and come back up the block.
And you might say, "Why should I go out of my way?" You're not going out of your way. You're going the right way. You're going the smart way.
You're doing the reasonable and prudent thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it, but they will put you in a state of mind that will say to you, if you don't do it, and they happen to go back to that page where they thought you did it, it's not going to be a pleasant day for you.
What's your story going to be? You better have a good one, because I don't hear one making any sense that's going to get you out of this trouble.
Yeah, you better have a story that's going to make people who don't speak English all that well, and I'm not talking about that they're foreigners. They don't speak. They're from America.
Yeah.
And they don't speak English too well.
They have another language that they'd rather communicate in.
Yeah, and it's a language that's backed up with people that tend to act first and think later. So you pays your money and you takes your chance. Anyway, it seems that these people are not afraid to use that, whatever language they're speaking, whatever they're thinking. They're not afraid to smack somebody around if they gotta, whether it be somebody who just happened to show up, whatever the case may be. Anyway, I'm rambling here a bit, but the bottom line is you're better off just not messing with these people. Whether you want to stand up for your constitutional rights, whether you want to stand up for what you think is right, or what you don't want to get caught up in the meat grinder that is the way they live their lives.
Which is something that bothers me about Donald Trump. He's a New Yorker. And you think he would know better than to be the lying son of a bitch that he is, because it's just going to get you in trouble. He can't tell the truth. He can't approach the truth. He can't get familiar with the truth. He can't use the truth. And if he were telling you the truth, you wouldn't be able to recognize it because of all the other bullshit that he mixes in with it, all of which is lies. Now, he's in a new neighborhood today. He's not in his neighborhood. He's not on his block.
No.
He's not in the familiar territory. And he's likely, when pressured in the unfamiliar territory, on an unfamiliar block in Beijing or wherever town he happens to be in, talking to the Chinese representatives, to just start rapping and flapping like he does, telling lies to make himself feel comfortable. But gradually, these people will say to themselves, we don't have a lot of people like Donald Trump around here, but we know the type. We can tell from the line of garbage we're getting from this son of a bitch that he's lying to us with every breath. And I have to say, we take it personally.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should let it roll off our back. Maybe we should be like America and just say, what another interesting 10,000 lies he told us this week. but we're not that way. We're a little more judgmental. We like it. We like things to be correct. And so, what do we do now that we're being lied to by this guy? What are our options? He's on our block. He's not respecting the territory. What do we do, Vinny?
Well, if you were smart, you'd just get in your car or your meaning of matter of conveyance, and you'd go. You just wouldn't mess with people. You just get in your car, get in your boat, get in your truck, get in on your covered wagon, whatever the hell you were driving, whatever the hell was moving you that day. You would get in that vehicle and you would take off. You wouldn't ask questions. You wouldn't mess with people. You'd just get out of there. But that's not how he plays his game. And for whatever reason, he has run into that problem a number of times. And I don't know how he gets away with it. He must lead a charmed life.
There's an article on the front page of the Sunday Los Angeles Times describing the situation that Trump gets himself into by lying for no particular reason. There's no advantage to it. He just does it because he can't help himself. And he makes up stories. And they say that the LA Times was saying that there is great concern about this trip to China because they can't control him. They can't stop him from lying. He just does it in profusion. That can get you in trouble in a foreign country. That can get you in trouble when you're negotiating, when you're representing matters of state. And they can't talk to him beforehand and get it straight in his head that he can't talk that way to these representatives, that now he's going to have to play it straight because he can't do it. He won't do it. He hasn't done it. And then he's going to blunder into something, totally unnecessarily blunder into something that he can't get out of.
It can get you hurt badly, and they don't, there's not a lot of compassion or understanding, or, well, you misunderstood me, or you might have...
or he was kidding. He was kidding.
Right. That's how he is. Yeah, that doesn't fly over there. That doesn't... They don't, he's just not that homie don't play that crap over there. It's just not good.
It's a little late if you've heard everybody's feelings to say he didn't mean anything by it.
Yeah, that's just Donald Trump. That's just the way he is. And he's known for that. He's not such a good liar that people just want to slap him on the back and go, that's Donald. And he's dodged a number of bullets like that. We've seen it time and time again. And he's probably one of the luckiest people in the world when it comes to that, because normally most anybody else that you would see in that situation would be getting their asses kicked 6 ways to Sunday.
And there are at least 6 ways to Sunday when you're getting your ass kicked.
It's just the way it's a way that he presents himself, and they don't like it. They don't let him get away with it. But somehow he does get away with it, and somehow he does, for some reason, get these people to look the other way. It reminds me of the luckiest guy in the world, because normally they would kick him out of or kick his ass or do something, but for whatever reason, he's been able to dodge any harm coming to him from that group of people. So I don't know. Sometimes there's people that just are lucky and they get to get by the perpetrator of whatever alleged crimes are being hollered at you or being screamed at you or whatever it is that they're doing to them.
And although we have incorrectly stated many times that we don't use the Strait of Hormuz, so it doesn't bother us that it's closed, it's not true. We do use it. We are affected by the closure. But China is very much affected by it. And they're probably getting a little pissed off because if everybody in China is paying what I'm paying, this is my receipt from my recent tank of gasoline in California. It is $74.99 for 12 gallons of gasoline at $5.99 a gallon.
Unbelievable.
Now, you can try that in China, multiplied by the monstrous population of that nation, and tell me that they're not affected by it. And Donald Trump can get off the plane and say, I'm not even thinking about your financial situation. I just want you to know that. You guys are in a pickle. You guys are in a tight spot. I just want you to know I don't care about that. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not concerned about it. I'm only concerned about something else, and I can't remember what it is right now.
He gets away with a lot of stuff, Michael. He gets away with stuff that no average human being should get away with. It's embarrassing to this country, to everybody. You wonder how in the world he gets away with this stuff, how he winds up getting away with the situation where he should be saved, or not be saved by anybody. So I don't know. I don't know how he manages to pull it off. He gets away with it, and will continue to get away with it as long as I think he can.
We won't have the ability to follow him step by step for all these meetings and conferences and continued discussions, but how's he going to stay awake? Because we know that he's up all night every night texting and making pronouncements and discussions that are madcap and unfocused and untrue and unexplainable.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be up? His internal clock's all wacky from flying around the world. What's his energy level going to be like? Is he going to be able to wait for the translator to get it right in his head, or is he just going to go off half-cocked and mess up the discussion? And we'll have to come back to this subject later, Mr. President. Maybe you need a cup of coffee or a Diet Coke.
Yeah, people just people aren't buying it anymore. Certainly, the voting population is not buying it as they used to. The people are just sick of the lying, sick of the continued sidestepping of things that are being said out in the open and treated as truths when we all know that they're not truths, that they are little things that turn into big things. And one day, somewhere, somehow, it's going to catch up with him.
I saw yesterday on CNN, I remember CNN because, excuse me, the reporter that was going through the numbers of the latest poll was saying 77% of Americans are affected by Trump's decisions and view the economy as a negative. And he looked in the camera and said, how can that number, it's the highest it's ever been. How can it not be higher still? How can there be 28% of the country that are not concerned about it. What madness has swept over this nation that with gas prices at $7 a gallon and food prices going through the roof and farmers in the planting season can't buy fertilizer, when that's the world we live in, how can 77% be as high as it gets for dissatisfaction? How can we be approaching 30% of this nation that says it's fine? I don't know what you guys are talking about. My gas is an agreeable price. The eggs that I buy are expensive, but they're the best American eggs. I'd pay anything for them. I'm not worried.
Could you imagine if any other president tried to get away with that? Could you imagine if any other human being? I mean, there's just I just don't know anybody that would be able to get away with that. I mean,
there's nothing Trump can do to get that number to 80 or 85%. There's just going to be that base support, the so-called base of Trump, that is so fixed in their ignorance and their hate for reality that Trump represents some sort of.
Oh, he's pulled the
some condition that can't be described.
Yeah, he's pulled the most amazing con job, maybe of anybody ever. You would have to think that some of these people would not be able to say anything about him.
They're not citizens, they're marks. That's what they are. They're in the con, they're the mark. And they cling to the fact that they've been taken, and they love it.
How can you get away with it? How can you get away with the idea that he says something and people just turn around and turn it around, and it just changes everybody? I mean, he couldn't be telling the truth that many times. He would have to be wrong a certain amount of times out of the aggregate total of everything he's saying wrong, everything that he's saying that's that he just out and out lies to people. He's lying. I know he's lying. All of these people that are sitting in these chairs know that he's lying.
But Vinnie, we came to that conclusion the first time we saw him walking down the street, the first time he made an appearance on TV, the first time he was on Entertainment Tonight. You looked at him and you go, what a pitiful loser. What a joke this guy is. What a shamil. What a fuck up. What a loser. What a con man. What a liar. All those things you can see instantly by checking out Trump. Just look at him and there you go. You got the picture. You know what's wrong. You know to steer clear. You know he's not right. Americans are supposed to have well-developed bullshit detectors.
Yeah.
But we don't.
No. I mean, you'd think we do. I mean, you'd think that we had a stronger sense of, being able to ferret out the things that he says in some shape, manner, or form. But it doesn't work in his case. And unless we're as it's almost it's embarrassing for our country.
In the fallback position that he's a businessman, he's not a politician. That's why he speaks his mind. That's why he goes about solving problems differently.
Yeah,
just tripe. The worst tripe that's been left at a picnic table in the sun. That's the kind of tripe we're dealing with here.
It's something that no matter how old I get, no matter how old I live to be, no matter how removed from a situation or close to a situation that I become, I'll never be able to figure out how he gets away with it.
That's why life in Spolpakia seems sometimes more appealing, because it's simple there.
You just can't you can't believe it.
But if you're the village idiot in Slovakia, you're still the village idiot. They don't elevate you to president and fill in the blanks and say what you really mean. What did he mean? Well, I can tell you what he really meant. He was kidding. They don't do that in Slovakia.
It's pretty fucking amazing.
They just won't. They're kind people. They're good people. Slovakians are well known for their
hardworking people,
their kindness and their attention to detail. But
yeah.
they don't put up with that kind of nonsense.
Hardworking people who say, we'll give you maybe the benefit of the doubt, or we'll give you a shot. We'll certainly try to give you some kind of something that will say to you, your BS detector is gonna go off.
Yeah. Why am I sitting here in the mud? I thought you people were kind and controlled. We are. You're lucky. You're just sitting in the mud because you got thrown out of the bar. You're acting a fool, and we couldn't handle that any longer. If you or Donald Trump were doing that, you'd both be sitting out here together. But look at it from the bright side. We took care of the matter. You're no longer in the bar talking nonsense to the good people of Slovakia. We took care of the matter, and we acted prudently. You're in the mud outside. And have you seen the new frontage road? It's right down the way. It's opening tomorrow.
It's a beautiful road. It's something. And the best thing about it wasn't there yesterday.
Right. And there's signs at both ends of it saying end. If you want to know where the end is, we have a sign describing where it is.
A diamond,
yes,
which is the universal sign for danger.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. But yet he has signed an executive order that has said to many of the Slovakians that go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You do what you want.
It's a frontage road. Make of it what you will. It's just a frontage road. We got signs describing what it is, and you can take them as for what they mean. They mean frontage road end. That's it. But if you think that there's something else there, if you think that there's more to it, go ahead.
We challenge you
to
find the other part of it. We challenge you to find the places where you think you would be able to get through it, get around it, get up it, get down it.
Find the mystery of the frontage road.
Find out where it is. We'll even pay you. We'll pay you $500 if you can find the person who has made the piece where you can avoid it, but it doesn't work like that.
What is the currency in Slovakia? I can't remember.
Oh man, they just changed it. It was the it was the Gnork.
The Gnork.
It was the Gnork. Built similar to ours, 10 Gnorks to $1.
Mm-hmm.
100 Gnaig to $1, but a Gnork. And it worked out perfectly for many years.
So the bottom fell out of the Gnork.
All of a sudden, everybody felt like they were comfortable using the Gnork.
They had a chance to use the euro, but they rejected it, as I remember.
No, well, because they thought, and rightly so, that if they used the euro, that somehow it would come back to bite them.
To be bitten by the euro.
They
To be
could,
bitten by Timmy Euro.
yes, and she got hurt by it.
She was a sensitive. She had a big voice, but she was very sensitive.
She was a little woman with a big voice, and she, well, she somehow she got control of the Gnork, and you know that when you mix in a little woman with an attractive voice
And money.
All of a sudden, you're gonna run into it. You're gonna run into some grief. So I don't know how she wound up being able to do it, but she figured it out,
She cornered the
and he
Gnork.
figured it out, and they all figured it out. And the next thing you know, the Gnork is all of a sudden just running into all sorts of problems.
Plus,
She's
you're on every jukebox in Queens.
well, she almost single-handedly became responsible for the collapse of Didio's Pizzeria.
No. She used to do personal appearances there.
Well, yeah, and she was the kind of person that when she ran into this problem, all of a sudden, you just couldn't get any. You couldn't get any reasonable reasonable thing where everything would come together. It just came to a point where nobody would believe her. Nobody would believe them. Nobody would believe anybody. And the quickest thing that'll make a currency collapse is non-confidence in the Gnork.
So they still have the Gnork, or do they?
I think they do, Michael. I think they're still using the Gnork. I think that they're. I think they tried to shy away from it at some point, but
the Spokane always been stubborn that way.
Well, it's the only currency I think they've ever known. If somebody came to your door one day, knocked on your front door and said, Mr. Knight, I have this bag of money, and starting tomorrow morning at 7:00, we're going to change it to another currency.
This sounds like a Cash Patel scheme.
Yeah. Somehow, some way, we're going to change things around. So you just stuff it all into that bag, and we're going to hope that everything works out okay. And so far, it has. Nobody has registered a complaint with the Central Bank of Slovakia.
They're a little hard to get a hold of.
Or the CBSP.
They're not always answering the phone there at Central Bank.
Well, they don't believe in a system that somebody stands at the desk and goes, all right, CBSP, how can I help you? They don't want to show that they're somehow able to feel that they're involved in this thing. Little kids on their bikes. So you go figure it.
Thunder Road Guitars, is that a Bruce Springsteen product?
It's a West Seattle product, actually.
Really?
It's a little guitar shop over on California Avenue, just by Fauntleroy, not Fauntleroy, but Fauntleroy.
Yeah.
And right by the Thriftway over there. Been there for many a year, and they decided a long time ago that they would hook up all of their amplifiers and drug. They sell goodies headache powders as well. Do you remember those?
I don't know that I got a headache that was ever treated with a headache powder.
Supposed to be a very it's supposed to be a good form of medicine for treating headaches, and it comes to you right at the curve in the road that's by a small pizzeria, and you go through this curve and you stop there and you grab a pizza, large. The slices are okay. They have pizza that they sell, and people stop. And they've
Don't get any pizza juice on the guitars though later on. Let's have a little respect.
I think that's a wise. It's a smart idea. I think it's a wise idea. No matter where you're going from, to the ferry, back from the ferry, through the guitar store, through the parking lot. It's no longer there, but Tully's Coffee used to be right there. And they took off as well. And for a while, they were doing okay. But then all of a sudden, that was it. They were gone.
I just realized that if I were going to be in New York today, there's no more Manny's Music on West 52nd Street. Yeah. So where would I go to buy a guitar? Is there the Thunder Road Guitar shop in Manhattan? What does New York do for guitar sales?
Sam Ash, I think, is gone.
There's a Sam Ash in Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know that Sam Ash is gone, or I don't know that they're open anymore. I think they're gone. There's probably a Guitar Center.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sure is open. There was a place on 6th Avenue for many years, and it wasn't
down in the Village.
Yeah, like 6th and somewhere, 6th Avenue between 6th and by the Village Theater.
Village
not
Gate.
Far away. But it was a place, but near Washington Square Park, so you could, run to the music store, pick up a couple of strings, or more than likely go into the store, pick up a couple of strings, stick them in your pocket, and then get out of the place real quickly.
Not that we're advocating liberating strings in that fashion.
No, I would never say that, but again, a different time, different place.
Got a name from your past. It's going to be part of the baseball scene tonight as the Giants and the Dodgers play their third game. Robbie Ray starting for the Giants. Robbie's having a really good season. He's only 3-4. His ERA is 2.7, and got 47 strikeouts. Those numbers don't reflect how much the Giants rely on him. He's one of the aces. He's having a really good year. And facing Robbie Ray and the Giants will be Shohei Ohtani on the mound. And the last time he pitched, he didn't bat, but I think he's going to pitch and bat tonight.
Wow.
So it's going to be quite a lineup and quite a face-off because the Giants are hot suddenly. Their first time that they've shown what I would call hotness this year. They're
I've
warm.
I've,
They're
I've
warm and
seen that.
ready.
I've seen that.
So let's see if they can bring those bats to bear on the career of Shohei Ohtani. Throw it in
Can't
here, Shohei. Put it over the plate, baby. We'll show you what we're going to do with it.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember. The Giants. Uh, I believe if I remember right, and again, these years go by me now; they fly by me. I can't remember that the Mariners and the Giants got hot at the same time last year.
No.
I just don't think it happened.
Well, the Giants are so amenable to the needs of the Mariners. They just say, "You guys going to be hot? Yeah, we're going to be hot for 3 days. We'll take those 3 days off. We'll work on our schedule of our theory of scoring no runs is better than scoring runs, and then 3 days we'll review that, and then it'll be our turn to get hot."
And it never really worked for them, though, did it?
No, they keep trying it, but this idea of not scoring runs is something they're very stubborn about.
Well, they had a belief. I think, and this is where a guy that I'm sure that you remember this guy's name. He started to install this a little bit with the Mets, but a guy named Wes Westrom,
A great catcher and manager.
great catcher and manager, always one of the guys that I always felt, for some reason, that he helped the Mets. He had enough gas left in his tank that he was able to. They were able to bring him in and get behind the plate or run the team actually, and was able to make some of the guys believe in themselves. It was Seaver's first year, and he had an ability to make players believe in themselves.
And he had a baseball name.
Wes Westrom is, and I know Mrs. Payson loved him very much.
I mean, his days with the New York Giants.
I just never. But Wes Westrom, yeah, he was a New York Giant. I think he was part of the '51 team, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I think he was part of the '51 team. But he was a guy that was that you never heard anybody say a bad word about Wes Westrom.
That's true.
That was the kind of guy he was. He might not have been the greatest catcher, might not have been the greatest manager. Never really made a lot of sense to me why they decided to discharge him from his managerial duties in a season where the man, where they looked like they would, but all of a sudden, one day, Salty Parker was the manager of the Mets.
Penis Lowry and Salty Parker.
Yeah, how could you not like those guys? But again, not a guy that you would ever feel you were going to dislike.
Maybe he wanted to play golf.
He would make that walk from home plate out to the stairs, which
the long walk.
The longest walk in the history of baseball, I think. But he made it, and he made it with the other players, even though he was the manager.
That was West Western for you.
That was Wes Westrum. He didn't put himself above the other players. You know, and I think it was one of those things where they respected him. So, the Mets are, they could use a couple of Wes Westrums right now.
They need something to make them. Well, speaking of catchers, that's what turned the Giants' fortunes around. Trading their number one catcher and making do with 3 substitute catchers from AAA, all of which got into the game, all of which have been hitting, all of which are making games exciting. And even the third one, as we mentioned, I mentioned his name, Eric Haas, because he probably will go back down to Sacramento. I don't know if we're going to hear from him again. But Jesus Rodriguez, Cisak, and Eric Haas.
I know. What happened? Why did all of a sudden Cisak was supposed to be the next hottest thing, right?
Well, he still may be. He's just on the injured list.
He's just hurt, right?
Got an oblique, which
always
opened the door for Eric Haas, and that opened the door for his big bat to win the game last night.
And Haas is no relation.
No.
To
the Haases, no.
The Haases, no relation to them whatsoever.
No.
Guy that looked like he could handle a bat, and
did so. Got an opportunity to hit the damn ball.
Hit the ball. So it's just
in baseball, you're encouraged to hit it as far as you want. How far do you want to hit that ball? Pretty darn far. Well, good luck to you.
Over the outside wall, if I could.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of and many people don't remember this, I'm sure, but there was a couple of years where the bus line that was used for the Giants and the visiting team was called Campus Coach. It was a green and silver bus.
Bring it from the hotel?
Yeah, to get from the hotel to there was 2 buses. These players would get on the bus and, play cards in the bus and get to the thing and sign some autographs and this and that and the other thing. And for whatever reason, it was a pretty, easy trip for these guys to get on. They didn't hassle each other. They jerked around with each other, to throwing paper cups full of beer and stuff like that around the bus and that kind of stuff. But it was all in good fun,
That little trip from Midtown to Coogan's Bluff.
Yeah. Or this was now actually from the what is that street that they used to take up? They would take Madison ran up. They would go up Madison, but anyway, they would take this bus ride. They would take that bus, and nobody messed with each other. And they got off of the bus and into the players' entrance in the ballpark, and everybody was happy, including Wes Westrum. Happy guy, happy club. But again, you had a guy that, everybody kind of got along.
Except Johnny Antonelli. Johnny Antonelli said, it's too damn cold in San Francisco. Trade me.
Yeah, in those days, you couldn't do that, though. I mean, you could ask for a trade, but you wouldn't.
I think they traded him to the American League. I don't remember who they got for him, but he was a first-line starter, but he hated San Francisco. This is kind of weird. And he voiced his opposition to the city. I don't like it here. It's cold. Well, Johnny.
Can you imagine
you want to
playing for a major league club Michael. Here you are. You're playing for a major league club, and you have the nerve to go to the management of the club and say, I don't like being on this club anymore. Please trade me. Please get me out of.
Send me to Cleveland. Send me to Milwaukee. Send me someplace.
Have you ever been to Cleveland on the lake? Yes, we were in Cleveland together.
Just about died. We had to buy long underwear.
And everybody in Seattle was on the same line with us at Eddie Bauer's.
Reason took us.
We were,
and that was it. It didn't warm up. It stayed cold.
No, it never warmed up. We were in that big hotel with the big courtyard. Remember, they had that big hotel, and you drove up in the thing, and the courtyard was warmer than the hotel room.
Tundra. It was like the frozen tundra.
I couldn't believe it. It was one of the coldest places I ever thought I was. I remember sitting out there, and even Buhner took a look around at us, and it was like, what am I doing here?
What the hell happened to the game? I thought we were going to play a game here.
All of a sudden, it was crazy, but that's baseball, man.
that's Cleveland ball. Why did you build this city next to the lake? Well, there's other reasons. We needed the lake.
We got a deal. We got it. I mean, they gave us this land. We had to build something here.
We were going to build it by Blood Creek, but have you seen Blood Creek? We're not going up there.
Yeah, and they gave us a deal on the land. The Indians said that we didn't like it.
You can use our name. I mean,
not for nothing, but if the Indians are giving away land on the shores of Lake Erie,
I don't
think it's a smart thing to take that land.
No.
But
how come you guys aren't using it? No, we got plenty. We're not using this land. It's all yours.
Yeah, but that's when Sakalexis was running things.
That's when the river used to burn.
Yeah, well, it was even before that. But remember, Sakalexis was running things, and why should we're going to get in this in the thing, and we're gonna have Orange Indians, and they're going to be more than happy to jump in this Blood River, whatever it is, whatever you called it, and bang,
Blood Creek.
Out. Blood Creek, and they were out, and so they were freezing too. And finally, their fortunes improved when guys like Bob Feller and
Rocky
Colavito, who was the Jumping Joe Charbonneau,
and for a while, Greg Kuiper.
Yeah, Kuiper was a part, but that was the whole thing. There is that it was just so freaking cold. As far as I could remember, I mean,
the way the wind came in the stadium, it would blow like from home plate out to right field, just freezing.
And the wind circulated with such a fever, with such a
penetrating fever.
Yeah. I mean, it was unbelievable the way it would circulate. If you weren't there, you would have never seen anything like it. And I've been to some windy places.
Chicago's got a name for it. They call it the Hawk, but they don't call it anything in Cleveland. It's just the wind.
And there it was. Boom, da boom, da boom. Next thing you know, it's freezing, and you're freezing your ass off chasing after this wind.
And it feels like you should be watching the Browns instead of the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I mean, and it's September, or maybe maybe the worst part of it is that it's nothing but just a horrible wind.
And this is the nice part of the year. Wait till it gets cold.
You know what? Did not the guy tell us that? Remember, the guy said this is what we consider to be nice weather here. The same town that you probably remember this because you had gotten there a little earlier than me, but this was the town that threw me out of the taxi cab at the airport. So I'm freezing my ass off, halfway from a runway. And no
way
nothing,
to get there.
Nothing. Here I am. I'm standing on the side of the highway. Nobody's going to stop for a fat guy from New York.
We're in the Seattle house. But you made your flight, didn't you?
Well, I made the hotel room. If you remember right, I got into the hotel room at like 7:00 in the morning. So I came switching in later than I thought I was gonna, and wound up getting there. Who was it that we ran into? We ran into somebody in the lobby of the hotel. I remember that. Yeah, Cleveland didn't. I came to like Cleveland more when I wound up going there for the All-Star game in 1980.
Better trip.
Was a better trip? Yeah.
Remember, we worked out at WKNR, and
yes,
and we had a closet. It was just a closet with 2 microphones and a rudimentary little board. All the electronic stuff was being done back in Seattle. All we had to do was sit in this tiny, tiny little room and talk. And that became the model for all of radio. We didn't know it, but in 20 years, every radio station was just going to be a closet.
That was
You could have all news next to music, next to great, beautiful music, just closet after closet after closet.
And it was worse than WFAN, because remember at the time, WFAN was WHN or something like that. Remember they
right.
just made that whole change with Jeff Smulyan and all of that. This guy going this way and this company going that way.
Yeah.
And they gave us a couple of bumper stickers that said WHN on them.
We don't know who we are.
In the closet. Oh, Mikey, those days, man. Those days. Those were amazing, amazing days. But we truly thought that the Mariners were going to win.
Well, they played well against the Yankees. They played not so well against Cleveland, and that was it.
Yeah. I'd still like to go back there and pop that cab driver, though.
What was his problem?
He didn't like the fact that I was from New York. And that I was from Seattle. I mean, as a matter of fact, if I remember right, now again, this is a long time ago, but if I remember right, he was more upset at the fact that I was from that I worked for the Seattle Mariners broadcasting, was with the Mariners. Then he was really pissed off about anything else. But when we went around that curve, man, he was like, "You're from where?" Seattle? Get the out. Son of a bitch. And it was my fault. I just should have kept my mouth shut, not said anything. And
nobody from nowhere.
I'm nobody from nowhere. And the guy, it was my own fault.
And I'm a good tipper.
It was a rookie mistake.
Yeah,
You know, keep your mouth shut. Don't tell anybody where you're from. Don't tell them nothing.
As Vito Corleone would say, don't ever tell anybody your business. Don't share your thoughts about the business with anybody outside the family. You know better than this. I spoil my children.
Yeah, it really was a sad commentary on the whole city, and it took me a while to recover from
It was a good story.
that I found later.
It took care of the first hour of the show. We had plenty to talk about.
We had, I remember we had people calling up and telling us about it. The story. Matter of fact, if I remember right, the story actually got into. I forget if it was the Cleveland paper
I don't remember that.
It got into the newspaper
or the Blood Creek suburban paper.
They were, here we are. We're just trying to get to the ball game so we could give the people what they wanted, which was information about the game. That's all they wanted. That's all we wanted to give them.
All I want is a good show on a Freaky Friday, probably around 10:10.
Yeah, that's all we wanted. We weren't looking to bother anybody. We just wanted you to. That's all. That's it. That's all. We didn't want anything. What was that guy that killed his
Goldfish?
wife? And was from down south somewhere. Murdaugh, Alex Murdaugh.
Oh yeah.
I guess he's getting out of jail.
Good behavior. I can't believe that. His behavior is what got him in jail.
How do you get?
Well, his son testified against him, so that kid better find someplace else to hang his hat.
Yeah. Anyway, the South Carolina Supreme Court has overturned Alex Murdaugh's murder convictions.
Good grief.
I guess he's gone. He's done. Overturned by a South Carolina Supreme Court.
What about that cab driver in Cleveland? Did he have anything to say about it?
That son of a bitch. I'd like to run into him someday. But his wife, Maggie Murdaugh, and youngest son, Paul Murdaugh, were found dead from multiple gunshot wounds near the dog kennels.
Yep.
At the family hunting estate.
I remember that story.
In 2021. He was convicted in 2023. They underwent a trial for 6 weeks.
It was on television from here to there.
Oh, yeah, it was all over the place.
Well, it's nice to know that he's out. And
yeah, I'm sure the neighbors feel good about that, especially anybody who testified against him.
It's going to make life in his little town a little more exciting. Everyone watch out for Murdaugh. Here he comes.
Yes, a unanimous decision that he must have a new trial, citing the actions of the former Colleton County Clerk of Court, Mary Rebecca Becky Hill.
She didn't like him.
She egregiously attacked Murdaugh's credibility, his defense, and triggered the presumption of prejudice, which the state was unable to rebut. So,
what did the Clark Kirk? I guess the Clark Kirk in North Carolina has a lot more power than they do in California.
Yeah, probably so. So they're going to have
the clerk of the court doesn't have that much doesn't have that much power here in LA. I'll tell you that.
Now it says that according to the justice in this thing. Yeah, or the lack of justice. Oh, by the way, he was also convicted on several financial crimes.
Oh yeah, that's what
Because
got him
remember, he
in.
like stole all the money from the people that he was
Yes,
murdering.
all his clients.
No, this guy's not a bad guy.
No, he's a good man. He needs a new trial. When
But
I
he
say
does
clerk,
come,
I mean clerk of the court.
he does come from the Low Country region.
Well, there you go.
Yes, the Low Country region.
Told you
From
to
his
watch out for those
financial
carrot tops from Low
wrongdoing.
Country.
And they,
There was a whole family of gingers. They have no soul.
yes, everybody looked.
The carrot top.
Meanwhile, the other part that was interesting this morning. The president of the United States of America. You remember him?
I think I do. Refresh my memory.
Yes, he posted a images of Nancy Pelosi, President Obama, and President Biden.
What about Tommy James and the Shondells? Anything on
Yeah,
that?
Shondells were not in on this one. Although I believe that some other roulette artists might have been involved in this.
Jimmy Rogers.
Could have been. He said that the outlet of the New York Times misrepresented what he called his landslide 2024 presidential election victory. He posted pictures of on Truth Social of Obama and Biden swimming in raw sewage.
Okay.
Obviously, he has a problem with raw sewage.
Can Nancy Pelosi swim in that stuff too? Or
I'm sure that we'll get we'll get an idea of whether it can be done. But he's put them in.
he knows those pictures are just creations of the internet, right? He doesn't believe it's true.
No, see, that's where I think you're wrong. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think he believes this shit, Michael.
Believes the shit you swim in?
I think that without a doubt that he believes this stuff.
So when he gets together with President Xi, do you think he's going to take out his phone and say, let's post some stuff? You post some funny stuff and I'll post some funny stuff. We'll compare.
2-3 o'clock in the morning, this guy is up.
Yeah.
And he's got problems in China. He's got problems in Iran. He's got problems. Gasoline is $7 a gallon.
And he's looking for that Three Stooges video
And
that
he's
he wants to put
fucking
out.
around putting pictures of Nancy Pelosi, of Barack Obama, and Joe Biden on social media. This is what the leader of the free world.
And he knows that J.D. Vance would never go swimming with him. Can you imagine those two guys swimming? Swimming in the Yangtze River?
Yeah, I want to see if they actually do jump in the Yangtze River.
They say in China, Yangtze go home.
There used to be a restaurant in New York on 57th Street between Broadway and 7th called the Yangtze River.
Good place.
And it was a good place. I used to deliver soda there when I was a young man.
And Sal Tessio knows about the fullest, the tank and the bathroom, right?
and you could go in there and you could get and the guy would never ask you for money if he would if he was feeding you. Never would ask you for money. Really nice guy. Had a great huge neon sign outside. It was on the south side of 57th and had these huge red doors. Because for some reason, most Chinese restaurants have to have red doors.
Good luck.
And he was in there, and the lights were on, and at 12 o'clock, 12:15, something like that, he was out there.
They're open for lunch?
Holding down the crowd for lunch. The Yangtze River.
I hope it's still there.
What a psycho. What an absolute psycho.
Well, what is President Xi supposed to think about that before he goes into the first meeting today?
That's the exact thing I was thinking. Here you are, you're dealing with a country that probably could kick the shit out of us right now.
But they're too smart for that.
I hate to say it, but and this guy is posting pictures of Obama and Biden in a swimming pool full of crap. In the Yangtze River restaurant.
And he's supposed to take this guy seriously as a world leader. I'm alone.
I don't know how you.
That's when Tony Soprano would say Marone.
Yeah, I don't know how you respond to it. I mean, how do you how do you say to yourself that this guy is all right, that he's fit to lead the country? Oh, but that's just President Trump.
He didn't mean that.
By the way, it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
I wasn't aware.
Yes. It says here, make space for joy this this month. Lift your mood and recharge your mind with happy radio.
Good grief. I'll be the judge of what happy radio is. Well,
Yeah.
Vinnie, on that note, I think we can safely try to escape without finding a management. I hope management doesn't know which way we come in the door.
Yeah, before we have to I did want to, Michael. By the way, I want to say hello to I want to wish my nephew Joseph a happy birthday out in Staten Island.
Happy birthday, Joe. Can't hear you. Can't hear you.
How about now?
Yep, you're up. Good job.
Ex-Marine, tough kid. And I wanted to say hello to my Cody, my nephew out there. But what I also wanted to do is the winners are in for Mudfest.
Did I place or show?
Yeah, remember Mudfest? There was that beautiful little thing that the Association of People Who Judge Cars.
Short on mud, long on dust.
A lot of dust. Was more dust than I've seen in a long time. A lot of dust, but the
winner is.
I did want to see if I can get it to. Yes, there we go. Look at that, Michael. There you go. This is a little bit of some of the beautiful cars that we were going through the mud with. Turn that down a little bit. And believe it or not, Michael, and this is why I found this so very interesting, this particular go around, is the winner of this this soiree, the best car, Northwest Activity Vehicle is what we call it. The Northwest Activity Vehicle turned out to be an electric vehicle. Turned out to be the Subaru. You know, Subaru makes now 3 electric vehicles. And
which one was that? That we just drove by. Who's this?
This one, the blue one.
That looked like a Lexus.
Yeah, Infiniti? This is a Mazda going by us right now. But the Subaru, the 2026 Subaru Trail Seeker Limited, which is truly one of the best Subarus I've ever driven. It's an all-electric. This is the other Subaru that was entered. This is the and again, a spectacular vehicle. The reason why these electric vehicles, I think, are so good, not just for the cost of gasoline, but the fact that we're coming in at a time right now where you're going to be able to take one of these vehicles, go off into the woods, go off into the beauty of these, the dust and the muck and the mire and all of that stuff, and not disrupt the environment as much by using an electric vehicle. You'll be able to.
You don't disturb the boys.
Not disturb the birds. This is the Trail Seeker again.
There it is.
Trail Seeker Limited, and you just don't get the gasoline fumes going all over the place. It is unbelievably well powered. I mean, it's got something like 400 and something horsepower. It'll pull a house down. It is just Subaru has really outdone themselves with this car. And I wanted to mention it because, again, for those people here in the Northwest that love to, to contribute to the non-damage of the environment, that want to be able to take a vehicle and go off into the woods and not have it, spewing fumes into the air, but are able to, enjoy it quietly, not make all the animals run away. This is a spectacular vehicle. Now, the one we're looking at here is the RAV4. That's the Toyota. That's a hybrid. So if you don't want to go for the whole, electric thing, you have the ability to go with a hybrid. But I just find what they're doing with these electric vehicles, through no fault of their own, is they're giving you the ability with these vehicles to go into the woods and get away from it all. And I just, so I wanted to make sure we gave them the props. The Subaru Trail Seeker, one for the 2-row. The luxury vehicle was the Lucid Gravity Grand Touring. Now, this is about $140,000 of SUV, but one of the best vehicles I've driven in a long time. I really loved this vehicle. The Subaru Trail Seeker, we talked about that. That's about $120,000. But just some seriously good electric vehicles, Michael. And every, not too long ago, everybody was crying that the electric vehicle was dead.
Same people that said the .coms were dead.
Right. The same exact people. And right at the top of the list is the nitwit that's running the country. This is that Lucid once again. And this thing is almost 500 horsepower. Didn't use a drop of gas all weekend. And just it would pull a house down. It was so luxurious inside, Michael, that you felt like you were in a luxury jet, not a car.
Wow.
And
who makes the Lucid?
Lucid.
Just Lucid. There's a standalone.
Lucid, they're made in Arizona. There's two of them. There's this SUV that we saw, and then there's also a sedan. And the sedan, which is a 4-door sedan, is a spectacular vehicle that, and in this particular vehicle, I know I'm going a little long with this, but I did want to tell you about this because I thought it was one of the neatest things I've seen in a car in a long time. The Lucid, what they do is they take the windshield and they run the glass. You know how the windshield is at the base there where the wipers are, and then it goes up however many inches and then stops, and then it becomes a metal roof. Well, what Lucid has done with their SUV is they have run glass all the way up
Whoa.
to the middle of the roof. So as you are driving
You're in the
thing
cockpit.
down the street, you get this feeling that you're in this unbelievably open vehicle. Even though it's not open, even though you're not getting filled up with dust, you're getting this view, this look of the trees. You're getting this look of everything.
You're out there in it.
And you're out there in it. You have an ability to see this and to feel it. And again, it's an expensive car. It's not a cheap car. But I've never seen a vehicle built quite this way before.
Excellent.
And I was just so impressed with it.
Give them extra credit for their invented design.
Yeah, you know what? It shows that there are so many different things that people can do. Excuse me, the designers of these cars can do. And this is the Lucid. And I don't know if you can see it at the top of the windshield, but that whole thing is a piece of glass.
I see.
It's beautiful. And I really I suggest that if you're in the market for this type of vehicle, that you go and you take a look at this Lucid. And I mean, I guess you can go there singing "I Love Lucid."
Oh, Ricky.
Oh, Ricky, I love you. But again, a stellar crop of vehicles this year. And thank you to the manufacturers. Thank you to the to the people. Really, the kind of grooviest thing. This was a kick-ass little vehicle. This little Jeep, not the guy there standing there, but this little Jeep Moab was a fun little vehicle to drive. Look at this, Michael.
Wow. Independent
Look at the rear wheel come up out of the ground.
Yep.
And it just stuck to the ground. It was like the traction on these things were unbelievable. So I'm really thank you to the manufacturers, to the people at the Ridge Motorsports Park, to the people at Page One, and also to all of the people that helped put on this show, to the people at Drive Shop, Aaron and his wife Lily, who just put up this place where we could get a chance for the weekend, for 2 days, I should say, to take these vehicles in mud. Look at this, Michael. This is the Lucid again, and I can't stop talking about this damn vehicle because it was so good. The people who designed this vehicle. Look at that.
Boy, coming through.
Yeah, you're not gonna get stuck in the snow with this puppy. You know, you're not gonna get stuck anywhere with this thing. As good as we saw. So this was again the Northwest. Excuse me, the Northwest Auto Press Association Mudfest is the name of the event. The winners.
And this year they did it without mud.
And we did it without mud, very little mud. But you know what? Wherever you took these cars, they went through it. They went through it with electricity. They went through it with towing ability, and they went through it with a confidence. All of these cars gave you a confidence that wherever you took this car, you were going to be able to take it through the different range of terrain that they gave you. The Ram stuff was excellent as well. And, we'll have more on drive time, but I wanted to share this with you because, you obviously, Michael, when we first started doing this, it was me and you doing it. And one of these days we got to get you to come up to one of these things and get you out there with me.
I would love to.
Riding around in a car. Look at that. Remember the old Subaru? Look at the Subaru now.
Coming through. Get out of the way. Tell the lions and tigers to get out of the way.
Exactly. But thanks a lot to the folks.
Tell Bigfoot we're coming.
At the Ridge. And thanks a lot to Tom Volk for shooting this video, too. He did a nice job of shooting all of this stuff so we could show you this. The Hyundai that I'm going to have in a couple of weeks. The Ioniq 5. Great vehicle. So anybody who wants to tell you that the electric vehicle is dead, tell them to go screw themselves.
They're talking through their hat.
They don't know what they're talking about. They, they just don't know. They don't know what they're talking about.
There's a lot of that going on today, Vinnie. People who don't know. They're willing to talk, but they don't know.
Yeah. Well, you could probably put me in that category every once in a while.
I don't think so. I'll see you Friday, Vinnie.
Mikey, I'll see you Friday. Thanks a lot. Thank you to all of you who've listened. If the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we will catch up with you on Friday morning at
10 or thereabouts.
10 after 11 or something like that. But go get yourself in an electric car and go have some fun. All right, Mikey, you take care of yourself.
See you soon.
All right, see you on Friday. Thank you all for listening as well and watching us. And we will see you on Friday, if the Lord's willing, and the creek don't rise. Have a good one, folks. Thank you. If I can get this thing